The amount of rainfall an area receives is dependent on many factors, most of which have been identified by meteorologists. But there has been some recent speculation about a possible new factor in rainfall amounts and distribution: the plumes of heat and moisture released from the cooling towers and cooling ponds of large power plants. Scientists at Oak Ridge National Laboratory in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, a research facility operated by Union Carbide Corporation's Nuclear Division for the Department of Energy, are preparing to launch a study to determine whether plumes from the Georgia Power Company's Plant Bowen near Cartersville have affected rainfall and storm patterns in the area. The study, being conducted with the cooperation of the Georgia Power Company and the Plant Bowen management, is part of a nationwide program to determine possible atmospheric effects of power plant cooling systems. Task leader for the project is Ari Patrinos of the laboratory staff.
This is a map of northwest Georgia. This is the city of Cartersville, and this is the location of Plant Bowen. We have already made use of the National Weather Service data available from 1950 to the present, which indicate possible increased rainfall effects since 1971 when Plant Bowen began operations. This preliminary study has helped lay the groundwork for our field study, which will involve the installation of about 60 recording rain gauges and 6 wind measuring devices to supplement the Weather Service stations. Within the next few weeks, we will be contacting local landowners to ask their permission to install one of our instruments on their property.
After 2 to 3 years of data gathering, the Oak Ridge researchers hope to determine what effects, if any, Plant Bowen has had on rainfall in northwest Georgia. This is Bob Wesley reporting from Union Carbide's Nuclear Division in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Residents of the Cartersville, Georgia area may see a variety of airborne devices in the skies over the Georgia Power Company's Bowen electric generating plant during the next few weeks. It's all part of a joint field study planned by Oak Ridge National Laboratory, Battelle Pacific Northwest Laboratories, and Pennsylvania State University in cooperation with Georgia Power. The plant, known locally as Plant Bowen, is one of the largest coal-fired power plants in the world. Its giant cooling towers and smokestacks make it a natural study site for scientists curious about the possible effects of heat, water vapor, and smokestack emissions released by power plants. The 3-week study, which begins December 3, is part of a long-term, nationwide Department of Energy program to determine possible atmospheric effects of power plant cooling systems. Ari Patrinos of Oak Ridge National Laboratory, which Union Carbide operates for the Department of Energy, is coordinator of the national program.
The main objective of the joint field study will be to determine the relationship between the concentration of particles and gases emitted by the smokestacks of Plant Bowen and the distribution, amount, and chemical composition of the area's rainfall. We also hope to determine the extent to which the area's climate is modified by the heat and moisture released by the cooling towers. For the past 2 years, Oak Ridge National Laboratory has been conducting a long-range study of power plant effects on the area's storm and rainfall, and this long-range study will be continuing during the joint field study.
Oak Ridge researchers are installing a number of wetfall collectors in the area to measure pollution removed from the air by rainfall. Helium-filled balloons will be released to measure wind speed and direction, and Battelle Northwest will supply a large instrumented helium balloon anchored to the ground near the plant to relay temperature, humidity, and wind measurements to a ground receiver. Penn State meteorologists will fly an instrumented plane through the smokestack plumes to analyze the air chemistry. Researchers expect to complete the study a few days before Christmas. This is Bob Wesley reporting from Oak Ridge National Laboratory, operated by Union Carbide's Nuclear Division for the Department of Energy.